What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another episode of Predict the Prem. We've got our scores on the doors. Let me just explain to you how this works. Me and Simeon go head to head every week, predicting the Premier League outcomes game by game. And it's 1 point for a correct result, 3 points for a correct result and both teams to score, 5 points for a correct score, and also 2 points for every time our selected star man scores a goal on the weekend. Last week I chose Mo Salah. Last week he chose Timo Werner. So just for an example, I got 2 points for Mo Salah because he scored, and Simeon got 0 points for Timo Werner because he did not score. And as you can see on screen right now, the scores on the doors are 17 to Simeon, 13 to myself after the first week of the Premier League. And yeah, let's get straight into it. It's a lot of
points up for grabs.
A lot of points up for grabs. Another big week of Premier League action this weekend, with the first game being Liverpool against Burnley, 12:30 kickoff on a Saturday at Anfield. What are you going for?
2-0 to Liverpool.
Exactly the same as me, as you can see on screen there.
Both gone 2-0.
Both gone 2-0, and for the first time this year, we've both predicted the same score.
Wow, yeah. After last week, every game was different. And this time it started off as we mean to go on.
Yeah, exactly.
And we'll see how it is. But I think Liverpool should have this one. I think they started with a really strong start against Norwich last week. I don't think it'll be as easy, but unless they get a really early goal, and it kind of ruins the game plan for Burnley. I feel like they might get a goal in the first half. Burnley will kind of try and keep it tight to try and go for it in the last 10 minutes to get an equaliser. And I see Liverpool killing them off.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Nothing more I can really add to that. But moving on, Aston Villa against Newcastle at Villa Park, 3 o'clock on the Saturday. I've gone 1-1.
And I've gone 2-2. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, we've both gone for draws in this. We saw early difficulties for Aston Villa against Watford in the opening game. Still a bit disjointed, I feel, with a lot of new signings and their star man Grealish having been sold, still haven't settled into the season. Newcastle having given West Ham a run for their money on the opening day. Were very unlucky with the penalty against them, which shouldn't have been given. And I can see them just nicking a point here.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the same. I think Villa is going to take a bit of time for their signings to bed in, but I think once they do, I think they've got a really good side there. And I think Newcastle will probably be well worth a point there at Villa Park. So I wouldn't be surprised if Villa do come away with all 3 points, to be fair, though.
Oh, yeah, for opening day against with the home crowd, they could easily sneak a win as well. But I feel like Newcastle will give them a tough game.
All right, Palace against Brentford up next. What have you gone for?
I've gone for 2-1 to Brentford.
I've gone for 2-2.
2-2?
Yeah, I've gone for 2-2. I think that Palace, with their absolutely brilliant home crowd behind them, will give them a bit of a lift. Brentford obviously looked very good first game of the season, and Palace didn't look very good first game of the season, but it was against Chelsea, so I don't think you can read too much into Palace's first game. But yeah, I can see a lot of goals in this game, and I think maybe you won't be able to separate the sides.
Yeah, I think Brentford got their tails up after the win against Arsenal. It's going to give them the world of confidence. I think Palace at the moment, a lot of changes this summer with players coming out, new manager, and a few players coming in as well. Might take them a bit of time to bed into the season. I'm not saying I know I predict them to go down. I'm not saying they're going to be poor throughout the season. I'm just saying early doors, I reckon there's a few struggles, and I think I back Brentford to carry on their good form.
Interesting. Leeds against Everton. I have gone for 3-2 to Leeds.
I've gone for 2-1.
So we've all gone for scores, very similar scores we've gone for.
Yeah, I've gone for Leeds to get back to winning ways after the battering they took against Man United. Everton got obviously impressive turnaround against Southampton, but I feel like it's going to be a lot tougher against a very coordinated Leeds side who know how to attack and press. And I feel like Everton will score, but Leeds will end up winning.
And it's first game at Ellen Road in the Premier League with full capacity for many years. The fans are going to be very up for this one. I can see a lot of goals. I think Everton will come and play their stuff. I think Rafa will set them up well, but I think that it's going to be Leeds going back to basics with scoring a lot of goals and conceding a lot of goals. Moving on to Man City against Norwich. We've both gone for Man City to score 4 goals, but you've gone for the clean sheet and I've gone for them to concede 1.
I think they will get a clean sheet in this one. I don't think Norwich will be able to lay a glove on them. I don't think they had the firepower that Spurs had to really hurt Man City's back line. I feel like it's going to be a very dominant display. display. And also, I feel like maybe Ake will come out. They've got Stones coming back, or Laporte in the squad as well. So I think the defence will be shorn up from a City point of view. So I expect a big win and a clean sheet.
Yeah, I mean, I can see where you're coming from. I mean, I just think that Man City and yes just seems like a tasty selection, so that's why I've gone for it. I think that Norwich can get a goal, maybe from a set piece or something like that, maybe just a consolation goal, I think, but it will be a resounding victory for Man City, that's for sure.
They want a response after the not heavy defeat, but a bad, damaging defeat on the opening day. They'll want to hit back and tell people like we're definitely going to be serious this year. And Grealish, his first game from the home fans, I reckon he'll be on the money.
Brighton against Watford. I've gone for 1-1.
I've gone for 2-1 to Brighton.
I knew you were going to go for 2-1 to Brighton.
Yeah, I think, look, I'm backing Brighton to have a decent season this season, and I think Graham Potter, I'm a big fan of his. I think they've reinvested the money that they got for Ben White. I don't know how well they've reinvested it, but they have reinvested it on some players. So and their recruitment's usually quite strong. So I expect them to come back stronger than last year. And I think Watford had a great opening day victory, but I think this Brighton side have a set of playing which is very, very difficult to play against. And despite their poor finishing at times, I reckon they're going to edge this one 2-1.
All right, moving on to Southampton against Manchester United. What have you gone for this one?
2-0. Man United to keep a clean sheet and a confident away display.
Ooh, interesting. I've gone for 3-1. I think the majority of the time the Southampton play against Man United, it is both teams to score, but I can't see Southampton getting anything from this game. So I think a two-goal margin, but I can see Southampton nicking one, maybe Che Adams or something like that.
Yeah, fair enough. I just feel like, I don't know if Varane's going to play or not, but I feel like even if he's not going to play, Lindelof's going to want to step up to show that he's still in contention to be playing every week in, week out. Shaw's a much better player than he now, after the Euros. And then, Wan-Bissaka, David. I just think they've got a solid back four, and I reckon they're going to want to keep a solid way for. I'm not sure. Not sure if he is.
All right, Wolves against Tottenham, Sunday, 2:00. It's the big one. I've gone for 1-1.
And I went for 2-1 Spurs.
You went for last-minute winner from
I've gone for a late winner. Yeah, I think it was a bad display on Thursday night. No getting away from that. But I think the win against City was going to give us a lot of confidence early doors. And I think Nuno going back to his old place is going to want extra motivation to get the win. I know the crowd are going to be up for it, and it might be a very intense atmosphere with the crowd getting back on Nuno's back and all that kind of stuff. But I think Spurs should have enough quality to see it through. I think it's going to be a tough game, tight game. I don't think it's going to be one of these games where we're with a much better team. I think it's one I just have a feeling we're going to edge it.
I think this is probably the game of the weekend that where it's really impossible to call. Obviously, both sides have brand new managers. Nuno coming from Wolves. Wolves with their brand new managers are very much an unknown quantity in the Premier League. So I think it's a very, very tough game to call. So just on that basis, I've gone for 1-1, and I can see that being quite a realistic scoreline, to be honest. Arsenal against Chelsea. This is going to be a fun one.
Wow, I've gone for 3-1 to Chelsea.
I've gone for 4-0 to Chelsea.
4-0
at the Emirates.
That's a big, big shout. 4-0.
I've gone for 4-0, and I've gone for Lukaku hat-trick as well.
Wow, that's a big shout. I'm shocked by that prediction.
I've left Simeon stunned in Predict the Prem.
Yeah,
I've gone for 4-0.
I think 3-1 is.
I can't see Arsenal scoring.
I think they can get a goal from somewhere. Get Saka back in the lineup. Maybe Odegaard, the new player, is going to be playing. I think I got a bit. I think who's back. Aubameyang's back in the squad, isn't he? So I think they might have a goal in them. But I think I can really see Lukaku. And not even if Lukaku isn't the one scoring, I can definitely see him drawing a lot of attention. Yes. And like Havertz and Werner coming into play as well. I think Arsenal are in big trouble in this one because as well, the forward line is going to keep all defenders occupied. Then you got those wing backs coming forward, really stretching the defence. So I think Arsenal are going to struggle. I know they beat Chelsea last year at the Emirates, but I remember that was one of Lampard's last games, wasn't it? So I think they caught them at a good time at that point. But I think this time, with Tuchel's new and improved Chelsea with Lukaku in the team, I can't see anything but Chelsea win.
Yeah, I can't see anything but a Chelsea battering, to be honest. I really can't. But it's sometimes at these kind of games where you just can't see an Arsenal win in any sort of fashion, they sometimes do pull one out the bag.
Happens
They
often.
really do.
I remember that. That's my point. That Chelsea game last year when they won, that was one of those games where I really couldn't see anything but a Chelsea win, and they end up pulling out of the bag.
Yeah, and you know, they do sometimes pull something about. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's like 1-0 Arsenal, 1-1. Actually, I would be surprised, but you know, you could see it coming. You can see it coming. But I'm going to stick with my gut, going to stick with my head, going to stick with my heart, and I'm going to go 4-0 Chelsea with a Romelu Lukaku sensational debut.
Wow.
Airing his inner Didier Drogba as well.
Exactly.
Last game of the weekend, Monday night, is a big game as well. West Ham against Leicester at the London Stadium.
I've gone for 1-1.
We've both gone for score draws. Interesting. I've gone for 2-2. You've gone for 1-1. And yeah, I think it's fair enough with a score draw. I just think there could be a lot of goals in this one, toing and froing.
I think from West Ham's point of view, I don't think their struggles will kick in until maybe a bit later in the season. I think they might have a decent start. I think they got a very settled side. Despite having no signings, they have kept all their players. So Rice is staying, and you know, Antonio is fit and starting the season, that kind of stuff. Souček starting the season well. So I can actually see West Ham being decent early doors. I think once the Europa League kicks in, once they have to use their squad a lot, that's when I see them coming into a bit of trouble. But in terms of Leicester, they're coming up. I think they're quite evenly matched at the moment against Leicester. And Leicester with a good start to the season, winning Community Shield and a 1-0 win against Wolves. I think this one is going to be a tight affair, and I think a 1-1 or a goal each. That's how I'm seeing it.
Yeah, I just feel there'll be a bit more goals than that, but I get your reasoning, and I kind of agree more or less with everything you said. I just think there will be a few more goals in it. But look, that is it. That is your Premier League predicts. We've got our star mans to pick as well. I am going for Romelu Lukaku. Who are you going for?
I'm going for Sadio Mane.
Sadio Mane, interesting. So that means...
Only because I'm not 100%... I'm pretty sure Lukaku will start. I'm just not 100% sure he's going to start. And I am 100% sure Mane's going to start. So that's why I went for Mane. And I reckon he'll get a goal after he didn't get one on the first game of the season.
Yeah, interesting. I mean... I've gone for Lukaku just because I just think he's going to have... I can't see him not starting. I can't see him not starting. And I think that he's definitely the player to watch out for this weekend. He's got to be. I mean, after that brand spanking new signing for Chelsea, what a lot of money they paid for him. And he's not the player that he was when he left England last time. I mean, this guy is probably 5 times the player he was when he left England. So I think if he plays against Arsenal, he has got the opportunity to really, really bully them. I mean, they found it hard with Ivan Toney. Imagine them coming up against Romelu Lukaku.
Definitely.
So I'm going for Lukaku. My brother is going for Sadio Mane. I want to know who you think the star man this weekend is going to be in the comment section below. I want to know your predictions for every single game of the Premier League this weekend as well in the comment section below. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.